Welcome to Roots and Branches of Lehi, the podcast where we get to know the faces, stories, and lives that make up our community. I'm Ryan Harding, and I started this podcast as a way for us all to connect with the people we live alongside. Growing up in a small town, I learned that connections go beyond blood. They're built through shared experiences, friendships, and the moments we celebrate together. Each week, we'll sit down with someone new from Lehi to share their unique story, their passions, and what they love most about living here. So whether you've been here for years or just arrived, join us as we deepen our roots and reach out to our branches one story at a time. Welcome, Brent Knudson, to Roots and Branches of Lehi, where we get to know you a little bit. So
yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Let's start with you. Give me a little background of you. You grew up in Lehi. You're from here originally. How long you been here? Give me a little background here.
I'm not from here originally. I grew up in Seattle area.
Okay.
We moved here to Utah in 2013.
Okay.
My father is from Provo.
Okay.
And we used to come to Utah every summer to go see my grandpa and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I have deep roots in Lehi, actually. My great-grandfather, Matthias Knudson, has a historic home just here on Center Street, 2-3 blocks away.
Yeah.
And he was here in the 1800s. They're actually, and then my great-uncle, they're dedicating his historic house like next month.
Okay.
And so they helped build the roller mills and all that kind of stuff. And so now we moved here to Lehi in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that historic roots, did that influence you coming to Lehi, or was it just, it is a good place to live?
No, like I always knew I had family from Utah, but I never really thought about it much more than that. And then once I moved to Lehi, you start digging a little bit, it's like, there's a whole family plot at the Lehi Cemetery with my great-grandpa and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. So then you start realizing, oh, wow, I got a little more roots here than I thought I had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think about it all the time. The building that we're in on Main Street, the front part was built in the 1800s, the late 1800s.
Yeah.
And it was like the doctor's office for a while. And so for sure, my great-grandpa, who was living there at the time, the late 1800s, he would go there.
Yeah.
That's where he would go to the doctor. Yeah. And now I have a bakery there. It's cool.
That is pretty cool. Going back to your roots there, any idea what they did for work or any background on some of those people? Was any of them in bakery?
No, I know they raised sheep.
Okay.
And farming type stuff. Agricultural stuff.
Okay.
They're from Norway. They immigrated here from Norway.
Okay. And then what brought you to Seattle then?
So that's where my mom is from.
Okay.
And so I was born in Arizona, but lived there for 6 months or something. But I grew up and spent most of my life in this just outside of Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. That's actually where my first daughter was born. We were up there doing door-to-door sales in Bellevue.
I grew up in Redmond.
Okay, yeah.
Sammamish.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we lived in Bothell for a little while.
Okay,
so
yeah,
it's
there
more
you go.
weird stuff, but just for summer. So,
I get it.
Beautiful up there, though.
I love it.
Enjoyed that time. Okay, so talk to me then about what do you do for work? Tell me about this bakery.
So I'm the main baker, and me and my wife own Fosh Bakery here on Lehi Main Street, and that's what I do all day long, every day, just making bread.
So how long have you had that business for?
So we started about a year ago.
Okay.
But not here. We started off just selling to neighbors and friends.
Sure.
And then over the summer, we dipped our toes into some farmers markets. Because we were seeing some success. We did a couple little events.
Yeah.
And we said, let's try the farmers markets. And then little by little, we started growing and growing. Yeah. And by the end of the summer, we were doing 5 farmers markets a week.
Okay.
And we were just, every week would just get more and more to where it was like, okay, this is a thing. This actually could be something more than just a fun hobby and some side money.
Yeah.
And then we moved into the building here on Main Street. We opened our doors on November 1st.
Okay.
So I haven't been there for very long.
Okay. November 1st, 2025?
2025.
Okay, so just barely then. Okay.
Just barely.
Okay. So obviously, did you do bakery before? Tell me what you did before. So give me your background here.
I did all sorts of stuff. I was a game designer for a while, like board games and card games. I did a lot of graphic design.
Okay.
And then I had lost my job a few years ago, and then I had to do a pivot.
Sure.
In my mid-40s.
Sure, yeah.
It's okay, now what?
Yeah.
I worked for Norwegian Cruise Line trying to sell cruises,
Sure.
and it's like none of it ever felt real.
Yeah.
And I had to reinvent myself, and I had this kind of crazy idea to do focaccia bakery, and which always sounded stupid and never sounded real. But then it just came to me, like, maybe we just try it.
Yeah.
And now here I am.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. Yeah. So just a pivot, late stage life kind of thing. Yeah. So, and how's it going so far?
It's going unbelievably well.
Okay.
Like, we were extremely nervous.
Obviously, yeah.
We knew we could do well at farmers markets. Mm-hmm. By the end of the summer, it was like, okay, farmers markets, we could just do farmers markets. And so our whole goal is that we found this place. It opened up on Main Street, and we live fairly close. We live about a mile away. So it's like, oh, it's close. Yeah. It's the perfect spot for something like this. I'm a Lehi resident, and I want Main Street to be cooler than it is. Yeah. And so it's like, this is the kind of thing I'd want. So it's like, I guess if no one else is going to do it, it might as well be me.
Sure.
But it was scary.
Sure.
And we thought, okay, maybe we just got to keep our heads above water until summer, and we can do farmers markets again.
Sure.
But from day one, it's just been like so busy, and the response has been so overwhelmingly positive that we may not even do farmers markets over the summer. It's been so good. I'm training someone right now. We're just right across next door to you guys here. Yeah. And I'm training. I've hired on 5 or 6 people in the last couple of weeks just because to keep up with demand.
Sure. Okay, so let's talk about the bakery then itself. Yeah. So in my mind, bakery is very broad, right? You could go different places. So tell me what you sell. What makes up most of your inventory, I guess?
We sell focaccia bread, and that's it. Now, it's an Italian bread. It's if you watched videos on YouTube or whatever, you'll see it, and they dimple it. It's really like jiggly and stuff. You'll see that. And it's that kind of bread. It's very soft. It's very oily. And so we do different variations of focaccia bread that we sell in individual loaves that are about 8 by 10.
Okay.
And then we also sell individual snacks that are about a quarter of that.
Okay.
And we do a bunch of different flavors and styles. So some of them are original, which is just olive oil and sea salt. Then we do some that we have a garlic herb one. Then we do some that are like pizzas.
Okay.
And they end up feeling in a lot of ways are just pizzas. One's a pepperoni hot honey, so it's mozzarella with like a tomato sauce with some pepperoni hot honey, some Parmesan cheese. Then we do a margarita, which is basil and mozzarella. We do like a salami and Swiss, which has Swiss cheese and salami. And then we do some ricotta green onion. We do a jalapeno cheddar, a veggie rosemary, and then we do some sweet ones. We do a cinnamon one. And we do a sweet onion, a sweet orange. Yeah. And we do, right now, we just launched one that's a banana dulce de leche.
Okay.
And we do a berry, a lemon berry. They're all really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not just,
it's not a traditional bakery in the fact that we don't have baguettes and we don't have loaves that you would get. We don't have croissants or pastries. It's just focaccia bread.
So do you have a place where people can dine in there?
Nope. It's just you can come in and take your loaf and go as a snack.
Sure.
And so a lot of people will come and they'll get a full loaf. Maybe they're having pasta tonight, and so they'll pick up a loaf like you would go to the grocery store and buy a big baguette or a big French country loaf. It's that same thing. It's the same scratches, the same itch, but every loaf that we made is handmade, and we make it all daily. It's all fresh. We don't sell any day-old bread. Yeah. Everything that is sold was made today. Sure. Probably maybe like half an hour before they buy it. And so it's an elevated piece of bread. So people will buy it for that. But then also, because we sell it in individual snack sizes, a lot of people come in because they want maybe an indulgent snack that isn't like a crumble cookie that's 5,000 calories and crazy, or French fries or something that's junk food. It feels healthier. It feels feels better.
Sure.
But it's not necessarily a full meal.
Sure.
Or it's like having one slice of pizza, but with less cheese and less junk, and it's all fresh and delicious.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'll be a little healthier then, obviously, than those other cookies and stuff like that. So do you have you brought up crumble, for example. So, they have those little boxes and stuff like that. Do you have little gift ideas like that where they...
We have boxes where people will get kind of samples. They'll get a couple different types, and we'll put them together. Because especially right now, for a lot of people, they don't know what to expect, and so they don't know what the good ones are. They don't know what they like, and so they'll come and say, "I want a snack of this and this and this." And they'll pick all of them. And we have gift cards over Christmas. We were open over Christmas, and we were brand new, but it was crazy busy because a lot of people would buy them as neighbor gifts, or for different Christmas parties, work parties, church parties.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, as a business owner, would you drop by sometimes at different companies, real estate offices or something like that? No, that might be a good...
We get a lot of real estate agents will come in and get loaves to give to all their clients and whatnot.
Yeah, love that. So what do you attribute the success to? Are you doing a lot of marketing, or is this just literally people see you on the road?
So,
like, where's the business coming from?
So there's a couple places where we haven't done any real marketing. Okay. All the marketing we've done really has been from people that reach out to us. You reach out to me and so yeah, we'll do it. We've had different people, a few like Instagram influencers that have come in that have wanted to just highlight our stuff. Sure. Because someone told them about it and they came in. So we relied mainly on that. Okay. As far as like traditional marketing, I guess, would go. Sure. But we haven't sought any of it out. Yeah. We are right on Main Street. Yeah. And so a lot of it is like thousands of people drive on the road every single day. Every day. And they see it. And people tell us all the time, I drive by this every day and I've always wanted to just try it out. Yeah. And finally they do. Good. We share the parking lot with the Legacy Center in the back. Mm-hmm. And then we get a lot of bleed over from the Lehi Bakery and in the city offices that are right there, especially once the library opens and whatnot. That'll be really good for us. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of it has just been word of mouth. Over Christmas, when people did give out our bread as gifts, we get a lot of people, they'll come in, oh, my neighbor got me this loaf and I had to try it out. Yeah. And so they came in and then it just has spread that way. Sure. And so we haven't really pushed for any real, we think it's like an arrow in our quiver that if we need to still do it, we can go buy ads or we can get a billboard or whatever. Sure. But we haven't had to. It's just been organic and the quality is spoken for itself and people just love it. Yeah, love that. The name, obviously similar to what you're producing, but where did the name come from? So the funny story about it is originally the name of the business was going to be called What the Focaccia. Okay. That was the name. And it was really more of just a kind of a gag idea. Sure. It's like I had this focaccia recipe that I've been working on and perfecting, and I'd make it for family things. It'd be funny to have a bakery that's just focaccia, but it's called What the Focaccia. Yeah. It'd be funny. So that was always the name. Sure. But then as I got... That was always when it was not real. Yeah. It was always a thing that was, that would be funny. But I owned the domain for it. Okay, sure, I bought it. And then it started getting real where it's, I'm going to actually do this. And I started thinking about the name. And I don't know, while it is funny, and maybe I'd still use it in some marketing, I don't know. I think at the beginning, it would be interesting, but it would age poorly. Yeah. And I think there'd be a lot of people that maybe, especially in this market, they'd find it inappropriate. And so you know what, I want to do this, but I need to change the name. So I started really brainstorming because that was the whole reason why this thing even existed was because of the other name. And it came to me that a lot of times, like my brother would call up, he lives in Lehi too, and he's like, you should bring over some focaccia. It's just short for focaccia. Yeah. And I was like, focaccia would be good. It's easy to say. It's unique. Yeah. And we landed on it. It was easy to brand. I liked it. So we stuck with it. I love that. That's probably wise. I like your idea. You could probably still use that in marketing. Yeah, there's something. But to brand it only that, then you're locked in. And to your point, some may think it's funny, some may not so much. Exactly. So that's probably a wise move. But I like, so brother, it really is you should get some credit here. Royalties, right? He comes in and he gets his free, he comes and gets his free focaccia all the time. Sure. Yeah, you're actually if there's any form brother, to get. Come on, let's. It's funny because we sell out almost every day. Yeah. And he'll always come in looking for one, and he come and he leaves empty-handed because there's none left for him. Because he's looking for the day-old bread, the one that would be day-old. Yeah, but it's right? I'm pretty sure we're already sold out right now. Okay. So do you sell? So if somebody wants to get stuff, what are your hours? And then really, when does it? We open Monday through Friday. We're open 11 till 6 technically. Okay. And then on Saturday we open an hour earlier at 10. Okay. And till 5. But we really close once we sell out. And most days we sell out closer to between 3 and 4. That's when we've been selling out more recently. And that's our biggest hurdle right now is being able to produce enough bread to meet demand, which is the best problem you can have. Yeah. And it's been pretty great, but I'm the sole baker, so it's a lot of work, it's a lot of burden on me. Yeah. But it's great. And I think that there's something, one of the reasons why we decided to even do this was that I think there is a desire in society for more authentic, kind of real homemade, real stuff. I think you look at the trends, everything is becoming more part of big chains or very industrial. And while that is good in certain situations and you get good deals on stuff, I think there is a collective need for something more authentic and something more community driven and something more real. And so I think we are fulfilling that. And I think people are, even though if you went to most stores and if you went to McDonald's and sorry, we're sold out of hamburgers, people wouldn't accept it.
Yeah.
But because we are a family-run, mom-and-pop, handmade focaccia bakery, at the end of the day, people, they're disappointed they didn't get what they wanted, but they don't feel bad. They feel like, oh, that's just part of the novelty of it. You got to come in and get it because the bread leaves. A lot of times, I'll take it out of the oven and it's spoken for before I even get it out onto the display case.
Yeah, which I think like a donut shop, they do run out of donuts, right? So that's not abnormal in that industry. To your point, as a business owner, how do you determine? Are you producing the same amount of bread each day, or do you know, okay, hey, around this time, for example, some holiday or something like that, we need to produce double the portions? How do you determine those kind of things? So
that's since we haven't been open for very long.
Yeah, you're still probably learning.
I'm trying to dig into the trends and trying to figure out what days. And I think for the most part, I've figured it out that as the week goes on, every day is a little bit busier than the next. Saturdays easily we'll do probably double the amount on Saturday as we do on Monday. But we've had a few really great spots on social media, on Instagram. We're providing some of the table bread for Edna's restaurant here locally and the new Maggleby's down in Pleasant Grove. We're providing their table bread. And so that's getting us some exposure too. And as those things have been out there, like our numbers have increased a lot in the last month to where I'm just having to make almost twice as much as I was making even from January. And so some of it is just a little bit of trial and error where it's okay, I'm going to try to make this many. This is how many I'm going to make that day. Because a lot of that struggle is like I have to make the dough for it. And there's a whole process where the dough that I was using today, what's today, Thursday, was made probably on Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, okay, so it does take that long to sit?
So we do a long ferment on it, and that helps with the structure, it helps with the flavor. It gives it that light airiness that's what people love about it. I always tell people that the ingredients to our bread there's 5 ingredients. It's flour, water, yeast, salt, and oil, and that's it. And so people will ask, can I buy your recipes? I'll tell you my recipe. There's nothing magical about the recipe. It's the process that is actually makes our bread stand apart, and it's the time that we put into it that is hard to duplicate.
Sure.
But it also makes it's tricky on my end to try to do that at scale, to try to make enough so that I can make enough bread for as many people that want it.
Yeah.
But so that's been it's fun trying to figure out the whole process for me.
Sure.
Because I'm the one doing it. I'm up early and I'm just trying to figure out, okay, how many should I make today? Earlier on, it was a lot harder. I'd ask my wife, like, how many should we do today? And it's like, I don't know. It was said yesterday, but it was like really, and then of course, I'll make a ton and I won't make as many, and then we'll have a huge rush. And
sure. And then you're like, I don't know.
But I can't remember the last time we didn't sell out. It's been a month or two before and I'm making a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So you're learning, keeping track, I'm guessing. So,
it's in our system. At the end of the day, the numbers that we're doing, while good for us, they still are not that many people in the grand scheme of things. So it makes it harder to really dig into the numbers. We don't have quite the sample size to really get a lot of really great, accurate data. Because all it takes is a lot of times we'll have one real estate agent come in and I'm going to get 15 loaves right now. It's like, oh, okay. And that's in a day where like today we'll do like 100 loaves today.
Sure.
And someone comes in and buys 15. That's a sizable chunk, but they're not coming in every day to do that. And we didn't know they were even going to come in. And every once in a while it happens. Sure. And that skews all your data to say, this is what you should expect on a Tuesday. But that one person came in, or there was a huge snowstorm that day, or whatever it may be. We found that like the days that kids are not in school actually aren't as good for us.
Interesting.
That's but who knows? Maybe that's just an anomaly of because we've only been open for 4 months.
Yeah. Still learning that. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I'm excited for you. And obviously the entrepreneurial part, is that something that you've always, like in the back of your mind, wanted to do just from a personal standpoint? You mentioned obviously you had different jobs and stuff like that.
Yes and no. I've always valued like kind of creativity and coming up with ideas and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I always like doing it. My brother has a podcast which is all about it's called Steal This Idea. And it's all it is like business ideas or like that some entrepreneur is like, please take this cool idea and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody else do it.
Yeah.
And so I've always gravitated towards that. And I like the idea of doing it. Me and my other brother, we started a board and card game company back in the day. And so it's my dad was an entrepreneur, and so we've always kind of had it in my blood. But I've always considered myself a better number 2 than a number 1.
Sure.
And so I was always scared to actually be
the number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so luckily I have my wife who really is the brains of all of it.
Sure.
And so she makes all of it actually work. Like I do the grunt work and I'm up early and making the bread, but ultimately none of it works without her actually doing it. So it's been a good partnership for us.
She handled the administrative part of it?
Yeah, so she does. Yes, she does. She juggles a million things. Like mine is probably more physically demanding. It gets hot and I'm sweaty and like I'm picking up stuff and hurting my wrists and my fingers.
Sure.
But she handles all the aesthetics of the shop, all the cleaning of the shop, making sure that it's sanitary and everything. She handles all the sales in the front and all the payroll and all the other stuff.
Sure.
We balance each other out really well, I feel. I think the things that I'm good at, she's not very good at, and the things that she's good at, I'm not very good at. And so
not every marriage can work together. So has that been good for you guys?
It was something that I was nervous about, and it's something that I dragged her kicking and screaming into this. Okay. But ultimately, and a lot of it is because it was... We didn't have any business doing this. It's not like I want to be a baker. That's all I ever want to be. It's not how it was. No. Neither of us saw this as something that we wanted to do. And neither of us really had ever really been the main person, the main engine to make a business work. And so it was scary. And we were nervous that it would maybe take a toll on our marriage, right? That the extra stress and the conflict, and we do butt heads here and there, but for the most part, I think it's made us stronger. What's been really cool is right now, we started with just me and my wife, and then my mom works there, my wife's sister, and that's the core of people that work there. I've hired some new dough makers, some kids that are in my neighborhood. Yeah. And then my kids all work for us. So on Saturdays, usually it's just my immediate family. So it's just me, my wife, and my 4 kids, and we run the whole thing.
So talk to me about that then too, because I've interviewed other people that, especially back in the past where they had the mom and pop store, because that's not as frequent nowadays. But so talk to me about that. How has that brought your family together? How has that been, the good and bad, I guess, of that?
On almost all counts, it's been good. Now, obviously, we're running it on a Saturday, which is our busiest day. And we're doing it with kids who are, I love my kids, but they're not necessarily who, especially I have a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 10-year-old. Okay. So my 2 older, they're kids that I could maybe hire if they weren't my kids. Yeah. But my younger 2, it's I wouldn't hire a 12-year-old to do it. Yeah. And so so I'm bringing a team in on a Saturday, our busiest day, with half the team that are younger, and they were family, and so there's a different dynamic there. Sure. But I've said, especially starting this out, it's a lot of work. Yeah. It's something where I'll wake, especially on a Saturday, I'm at the bakery at 4. Yeah. So that means I'm up. Luckily I live close, but I'm
still
up,
that's early.
I'm up. My alarm's going off at 3:45. Yeah. And then I'm not leaving until night. That's a long day. Now, I tell myself every day, I'm building something. It's not always going to be like this. Yeah. Because it's true. But if this was any other job, I wouldn't get to see my wife. I wouldn't get to see my kids. I'd be going off somewhere else, and then I would get home and I'd be exhausted, and I don't get to see my kids. Whereas I'm working long hours, and it's grueling when I get home. I'm really tired, but I'm doing it with my wife. Yeah. I'm doing it with my kids. I get to see them. I get to hang out with them. I get to see them, and I don't know. It's been really fulfilling and cool to see them grow, especially over the summer when we were doing farmers markets. My kids were instrumental in doing all of it. I did lots of farmers markets where it's just me and my daughter, or just me and my son, and we're just us two went out there. I baked all the bread all day, and we went out and we set up the booth, and we ran it together, and it was cool. It's a lot of work, but I was able to bond with them in a job, because in any other circumstance I would just not see them. Yeah.
And that's one of the downsides of being a man and going off to work, and you leave the family and stuff like that. And so that is pretty cool that you're able to still bring that family with you, essentially.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome.
It's olden days of having a farm, and family does it together, right? I mean, that's essentially what you have going on there. Yeah. Love that. Obviously very unique situation.
Yeah, you don't see it very often. And it's been something that I think my wife was a lot more reluctant to go all in on this. Sure. And I think that all sorts, you see, when we do the farmers markets, you go there And this response was so overwhelmingly positive because obviously I make this bread that I think is really good, and my neighbors think it's good, but maybe they just like it because they like me or they feel sorry for me or whatever. Exactly. I give it to my mom. Of course, she likes it, and her friends like it. Of course,
mom's always going to be in your
right.
corner.
They like as we go to these farmers markets and. These are strangers. They have no need to tell me that they love my bread.
Correct.
But like we'd be there for hours and like we'd get this overwhelming positive response, and people would freak out and they become. We have people that are still coming all the time to our store now that live like in Orem that will come up and get our bread every other week because they were doing it at the farmers market. They love it so much. And you start seeing that and say, okay, this is more than just my mom thinks her son's bread is really good.
Yeah.
And you start feeling that. And that kind of convinces you that, oh, maybe there's something here. And then when you realize, oh, I can do this with my family too. I can not only be with them, but I think when I was growing up, a lot of kids had jobs where it's harder for kids to have jobs.
Yeah.
And they don't get, and not only is it a way for them to earn money, but it's also, you learn a lot having to work. And so it's been really cool being able to have my kids learn responsibility, learn hard work, learn getting things done and being responsible and being professional. And it's been really cool seeing them grow and adapt into that.
Yeah. What, now that you mentioned fear of starting this and different things like that, what advice would you give to other people that are looking at maybe they have some idea, they listen to your brother's podcast and they want to take one of those ideas. Right. What advice would you give to that person?
What advice would I give? You have to put in the hours. I know a lot of people that have tried to start things. It's not worked.
Yeah.
Right. And they're good ideas, but I think, and I was scared to do it too, to really start my own thing, because do you think I want to like get up at 4 a.m. and work all day until, especially the summer, I was getting up at 4 and then I would bake all the bread and then I would have to go pack up and go to the farmer's market. Then I'd come home and have to make dough. Yeah. And I would,
those are long days.
They're long, insane days.
Yeah.
And during those times, I'd say, it's not always going to be like this. And now I'm in a store where it's like, it's not like that anymore. Yeah. Now, I'm still working long hours, and I probably will have to wake up early for a long time. But every day that goes by, it's okay, I'm able to hire this person. We've hired a night baker, so she comes and helps us fulfill some of our orders at night. And little by little, we've been able to alleviate some things here and alleviate some things there. But this would not exist had I just given up early on and said, this is too much work.
Yeah.
Because starting any business is just a lot of work.
It is.
And so my number one advice is put in the hours. If you really want this to be a real thing, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a while, and you're going to have to work hours and make sacrifices that on paper don't make sense.
Sure.
But eventually they will pay off. If you're planting the seeds and you're putting that work and you'll harvest it later. And I'm already seeing that right now.
Yeah.
I really do. It was about a year ago when we did this event up in Seattle for my sister and her husband. They do races up there, and we provided some bread for them, and I had to go up there and make all this bread for the end of this race. And it was like, at that point, I didn't have anything. And it was a big order. It's a lot of bread. Yeah. It was far away. It was all the worst scenarios was I'm going to do this and see if I still like actually doing it. And it was a long day and it was hard to do, but I still kind of like doing this. And then, but I knew that I needed to power through it and not give up early on when it was not comfortable.
Sure. Yeah, it makes sense. It's been a good conversation. I got to look back and see what things I wanted to. Do you have a personal favorite thing that you like to bake?
So there's two sides of it.
Yeah.
So on a practical side, I like to make just our original because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's just olive oil, sea salt. I don't like to prep it. I just put a little oil on there and dimple it, and it's good to go. I can make a lot of those really quickly, and they're simple. They don't use a lot of ingredients. On one hand, that's my favorite one to do.
Sure.
Right, especially when I'm doing a lot of loaves. Yeah, the easy ones are nice, and it's really good. A lot of people. That's our most popular loaf.
Yeah.
On a personal level, I like doing some of the more unique ones. I like because I make up all the different recipes, and I've had to come up with them. And so some of it is, what should I do here? So I'll do like our ricotta green onion, let's say. And that's something that's, that would be good. So I have to come up with the recipe for it, and I have to tweak with it for a while. And I like doing some of the more involved ones, like a pepperoni hot honey. Mm-hmm. Like a lot goes into that one. It's like I make up my own tomato sauce. Mm-hmm. And then I put that on, and then I have to get our freshly grated mozzarella cheese, and I have to put pepperonis on it, and then I let it rise, And then afterwards, when it comes out, then I drizzle it with our garlic herb oil, and then I put Parmesan cheese on it. Then I get our homemade hot honey that I put on it, and then I get chopped green onions. A lot goes into it.
Yeah, there's quite a few ingredients.
That's a lot more fun for me. If I just had to make a few of those, I enjoy doing that one because that feels more involved. It feels like it's like a piece of art. I like how it looks, and it tastes really good. Sure. If I had to do 100 of those, I would not like it. It would not be fun. It's a lot of work, and it's not efficient. Like I end up getting bogged down when I'm working on some of my more involved recipes, but they're a lot more fun. So there's two sides of it. Sure. So,
do you see yourself inventing new? Do you have things in your mind where you're like, okay, so the menu will expand?
Oh yeah, it's always expanding. I've always valued creativity. It's something I did graphic design for a long time, and I still do graphic design. I did design our logo and all that kind of stuff. But the value for me is I enjoy being creative, whether it's in music or whether it's art or whether maybe I like it. Sure. And so for this, I like creating different styles, different flavors. Yeah. Like I launched this week, we did a banana dulce de leche, which is really good. It's one of our dessert loaves. Yeah. So I'm working on one right now, and I haven't totally figured it out. It's been one of the hardest ones. So there's a glaring hole in my focaccia arsenal is a loaf that is like a olive loaf. It's a very standard ingredient to add in a lot of focaccias, and I don't like olives. I think they're gross, and I would never eat an olive loaf. But I get a lot of requests for it. Sure. I have a lot of people that like it. I know that, and I've wanted to do it, but I don't have a good taste for it. I don't have a good palate for what would be good. Sure. And so that's one of the ones I'm developing right now. I have to get some outside
taste testers, I guess.
Yeah, because I just don't. I don't.
You'll be like,
all these taste gross to me. So like, why would I can't sell this? I have some other ones that I'm working on in my head, but a lot of it is just a time thing, and I only have so much space and so many hours in the day to do it. And so like today, like I have a popular one we do is our cheddar jalapeno, but I didn't make it today. Okay. Just because I didn't have space for it on our display. And it's like, you know what? I don't make every single one every day. Sometimes you come in and it's a surprise, and I don't tell people when I don't even tell my wife sometimes. Sure. It's, I just made this banana dulce de leche one. Figure it out.
Hopefully you can sell that.
Yeah. And it keeps me on my toes. It keeps my wife on my toes. I think it's fun for customers. Yeah. Sometimes for sure there's people that probably would like a more traditional, what is on your menu right now? What is it? What can I expect? And, but it's more fun for me to just play it by ear a little bit.
And that's part of the benefit of being the number one, right?
Exactly. You can make the decisions. Yeah, exactly. That's why I always tell my wife, that's why we own our own thing, because we can do what we want.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. And 5-10 years from now, where do you see the business?
So honestly, if it was just up to me, I would like it to just be this. Okay. I'm very content. I'm not looking to, I just want to become the next Panera or whatever.
Sure,
that's not what I want.
Franchise out or whatever. Yeah.
Could I see a world in which we have another storefront somewhere else? Yeah, that's possible. If we had one in Salt Lake or one in Provo or something like that, that's not out of the realm of possibility. But that's not really where my mind is. Sure. I would like to make this shop successful. I want it to be a positive addition to our community. It's something that I would want I would want a bakery close to my home where the baker wants to make stuff for me. Sure. That's not on to the next thing. Sure. I got to make sure that we have our stuff in Salt Lake too. Because then it changes things. Sure. Is that possible that we might expand out? Yeah, it's possible, but that's not really
on the horizon right now.
That's not where my goals are.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, then it makes sense. But it's important that I want to keep things handmade. I want to keep things fresh. I want to keep things
at this point family oriented too.
Yeah,
I mean it's a family run business right now.
Exactly. Right? It's like I want it to be that thing. Yeah. Because I think while people do love our bread, I do think that there is something about just the coziness of the shop, the story behind it, the addition to the community. I think people like that. They know, you made this right here and you're like 10 feet from here and not a big warehouse somewhere else in West Valley. Because that's what would happen in most other places. And that's a bad thing. Sure. Like I go get bread from Harmon's all the time because it's good bread. Sure. But I think there is something more than just bread that we're selling. And I want to focus on that, and I want to make sure that stays how it is. That's my goal. That's where I see us. Sure. So.
Yeah, I love that. Again, very community-driven, family-driven, You're coming back to your roots that you didn't even know, were here and stuff like that. I love that. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think you're doing good things there.
Yeah, it's been a fun adventure.
Is there anything we didn't cover that you wanted to cover?
I don't think so. I love the support that we've gotten from the community, from just the people that live here.
Yeah.
And that was always my goal early on. It's like, hey, if we have a store here, I want our main customers to be people that live on Center Street, that live on Main Street like that. And we've seen that. Yeah. All the different businesses around have been super supportive. David, who owns the Lehi Bakery, he's been super supportive. He also owns Maggleby's, and we're providing their table bread, and he's been super supportive.
Oh, that's great.
We got him, Matt, who owns Nez, he's been super supportive. Yeah. Like we've had people from the city come over, and they've done interviews with us, and they were just here today just buying bread because they like it. Yeah. We've had such a tremendous response and such great support from just the people around, and that's what we wanted, because that's ultimately what's going to keep the lights on. Totally, is the people here caring about it.
Those relationships.
If we can get somebody that lives here on 200 North to buy one loaf of bread, I don't know, once a month. Yeah, that's not crazy. Yeah, that's not something that's not something that's some weird pipe dream. That's something I don't know. I'd do that. That's all I need. Yeah. And I think people want an elevated piece of bread that is better than what you can get at Macy's. Sure. But also is not some cost $1 million.
Sure. Yeah. Love that. Again, love what you're doing. Welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Welcome to Lehi Main Street, my neighbor now. So obviously I know I'm going to be going
come on over every time.
And stuff like that. But thank you, Brent. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. I was glad we were able to do this.
Yes. No, me too. So thank you. Thank you for joining us on Roots and Branches of Lehi. I hope today's story helped you feel a little more connected to the people who make up our community. Remember, every person here has a unique story, and together, we're what makes Lehi feel like home. If you know someone who would be a great fit for this podcast, please fill out the form in the show notes so we can reach out and schedule an interview. We'd love to hear from you. A big thank you to our sponsors, the Work Harding Home Mortgage Team and Play Harding Nightly Vacation Rentals, for supporting this show and helping us bring our community closer together. Until next time, keep growing those roots and reaching out to your branches. Take care.